What is up, you guys? It is Stu here and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to the party. Today's video is going to be another collab with my girl Jessie, and it's going to be super fun because we are going to be lightening up my assistant and then also adding in 2 colors of extensions to help brighten her up but keep her dimensional. So we're going to be walking you through the process. The first thing that I'm going to be doing is starting off, we are going to be tag teaming her color, doing a full highlight. So as you can see, I'm tackling the back and I'm just working on a bricklay pattern. If you've watched any of my videos, you guys know that I love working on a bricklay pattern just because I think it's not too uniform. It's going to keep everything broken up but also keep it nice and blended. We're just utilizing baby lights, spreading them out a little further than I usually would. And as far as our formula goes, we are going to be using Goldwell Oxycure, my go-to, 20 volume and 1/16 of Olaplex. The 20 volume is going to ensure that we get enough lift without it being too harsh on our hair. And also the Olaplex is going to be in there as our insurance or our protection to help keep the integrity of our hair while lifting it in a safe process. A little bit of hair history on this client is that she has not colored her hair in over 4 years. So her hair is a little bit lighter towards the ends, but for the most part it is 100% virgin. So that tells me we're not going to have any issues with lifting her hair. Her hair history does not include anything of a demi-permanent or a permanent color, so there's nothing we have to break through. She's only ever lightened her hair. She's never went darker. So for me as a stylist, I love hearing that when someone wants to go lighter because I know we're not going to have to push her hair or try to break through any permanent colors or multiple sessions to get to our goal. So at least today we'll be getting to our goal pretty easily. As I said before, I am keeping these baby lights a little more spaced out than I usually would, but however, as I'm moving towards the top of her head, I am going to be placing them a little bit closer together, as you might notice, just so I keep a lot of dimension in the interior of her hair and it's a little bit lighter on top. This is going to help give us that same appearance of as if she had her hair like kissed by the sun. Since she's not going all the way blonde and she's wanting to keep a little bit of dimension, I'm going to utilize keeping depth within the interior of her hair and a little bit of brightness on top to give us that same effect. Something that is so important and I cannot stress enough is to make sure that everything is saturated, especially whenever you have got a foil and you're not just touching up the regrowth, you're actually saturating the hair from the scalp all the way down and coating it to the ends. Something that I notice a lot is that whenever you are going through and saturating, sometimes the ends don't get enough love that they need. So everything's going to be super bright, but where you kind of like folded over those ends and placed them on top of each other, they're not saturated enough where they're not going to lift. I've seen this a lot whenever I'm training assistants or whenever someone is sending me pictures on Instagram and saying, hey, what can I do to end this? So make sure that whenever you're going through and saturating, you actually give a lot of love to those ends. I like to do almost like a little X motion to help break it up and open up the hairs just to make sure that they are fully saturated so you get that lift within those ends as well. As I'm saturating this next baby light, I would say pay close attention to how I'm saturating it. I'm making sure that I'm getting every little section, every little hair, breaking open the hairs, doing my little X motions, and just taking my time so I know that I'm going to be getting that lift that is desired. Oh, So I've continued my bricklay pattern up the back of the head, and now that I'm getting towards the top, I've kind of angled my foils to the left and to the right to where it's almost a triangular section or an upside down triangle or a diamond section that is up at the top. So I'm going to be just going straight up from here. So now it is time for one of my favorite parts, and that is rooting and toning, because this is where everything kind of comes together and you can kind of picture how the overall look is going to be. So we've lifted her hair lifted beautiful as expected, since it was that virgin hair we lifted on. And what we've done is clarified her once with the Unite Clarifying Shampoo Weekender. And then we added a conditioner barrier to her mids and ends so that root doesn't transfer down too far. So what we're going to start off by doing is rooting with Shades EQ 6N and 6NB. This is going to be the perfect tone because 6NB is so rich and beautiful, and then 6N is kind of the level that we're going for. So the 6N is going to neutralize out the 6NB a little, and it's going to match the root of her extension color so perfectly, so we get that perfect blend. We started off by mixing that up with the Shades EQ Processing Developer, that is the gel. This is my favorite trick. Whenever you are using Shades EQ for a root, we all know Shades EQ, if you've used it before, it's a little liquidy. So going in with the gel developer is going to thicken it up a little bit where it's not so runny. You don't have to worry about that transfer going on down from the root to the mids and ends and making it darker than you want it or making it splotchy at all. Also, another trick that's helping us is that conditioner barrier on her mids to end. That's protecting her hair also from the root so we don't get any splotchy marks or anything like that. We're dragging it pretty far down because she does want a really rooted, really pretty look, kind of more on the balayage side, leaving out those front pieces so we can hit those last, just to ensure that they maintain the brightness, because anyone who's going lighter or has a lived-in look wants to make sure they're brighter around their face. Usually with looks like this, I would leave the root on her base, that's everywhere but the hairline, for about 7 minutes, and then tap out her hairline and leave that on for about 2 minutes, so a total of 9 minutes processing time with her root. After we've let that process, we can rinse everything, making sure to really get in there and rinse her mids and ends. Get that barrier of conditioner or Olaplex, whatever you've used on those mids and ends, to make sure there wasn't any transfer out of there so her toner takes evenly everywhere. We are going to be toning her with a concoction of Shades EQ again of 9VG and 9NB. 9VG is a violet gold, so the violet's in there to ash it out, but don't let that gold scare you, because I know no one wants to see yellow within their blonde, but the ashiness from the V and the gold tones from the G together are going to help counteract any gold, but also enhance any warmth as well. So it's just going to be nice, pretty, and bright with a little bit of ash. And then we've also thrown in a little bit of that 9NB, which is a neutral beige, like I said. The NB is going to be going very well with her root since we have those natural beigey tones within her root. It's also going to be transitioning down to her mids and ends, leaving it an all-over appearance of just a nice, neutral, bright blonde. And now that she is all toned up, all there is left to do is just add in her extension colors. So the colors that we are using are from our line Jay-Z Styles Co. And maybe I'm biased, but they are my favorite colors. One, because it is the stew, and that is my color. And then also the Freddie is such a bright, beautiful, dimensional blonde. It is one of my favorite colors as well. Mixing those together is my color. The stew is going to give it a little bit more depth and dimension, but the Freddie's also going to be giving it dimension, but keeping it bright. Both colors are a little bit more on the ashier side whenever it comes to the lighter pieces and pop. So it's going to be making her feel bright yet dimensional, and it's just going to be the perfect combo. So we are going to be doing 2 full horseshoes with both of those colors layered in there, and then also a bag of tape-ins in there to fill in her shorter pieces around her face frame, just so she doesn't have like an awkward drop off or anything. You guys, this has got to be one of my favorite colors that we have done in such a long time, and don't mind Jessie, you guys, in the background doing her own hair. That's just like a typical day at Jay-Z. But look at this combo together. It's got to be one of my new favorites. It's both of my favorite colors. I finally got to put them together in someone's hair. You guys let me know what you think of this transformation and this color combo down in the comments below. And if you have any ideas for any upcoming videos or anything that you would like to see, be sure to leave those in the comment section below as well. Don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at stu.styles with a Z at the end, and I will catch you guys on the next one.